Good morning, everybody. And, well, I have to say that if the only mistake I make helping here with VetSecCon is that I'm late to my own talk, I guess I'll take it. So I apologize, everybody, for getting the main stage streams going here just a couple minutes late. Luckily, I didn't have that many slides to talk about anyways. So welcome back to the final day of VetSecCon. I'm Tom Marsland, and I'm ready to talk here about the mission of VetSec. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first, just a little bit about who I am. 21 years active duty Navy. Spent the past 21 years as a Navy nuclear reactor operator, and I've been the board chair at VetSec since June of 2020. You can see my bachelor's and master's degree down there, and some various certifications. But really, I'm here to talk about VetSec. So our mission is to create a world in which no veteran pursuing a career in information security or cybersecurity goes unemployed. But what does that really mean? Well, a lot of it means explaining to people joining VetSec that there's more to cybersecurity than being a hacker, as the image shows there. And I want to talk a little bit about my path and why I joined. So in January of 2020, when I reached my final command here in the Navy, where that I will be retiring from, I started looking for organizations that would help me with my military transition. I've heard all the stories about how, and I had sailors myself who were getting out of the military, and I'm asking them what they're doing, and they're like, well, I'm going back home. I'm going to live with my parents for a few months until I figure it out. And, if they're going to college and they're getting out in the summer, fine. But I've got a wife. I have 4 children of my own. I've got grandkids as well, and I'm trying to figure out how I am going to be able to support all of them and what's going to happen when I get out. And I knew that I wanted to go into IT. My last tour of duty, I got my bachelor's degree. This tour of duty, I worked on my master's degree and took advantage of free tuition assistance. And I'm just trying to figure out, how am I going to do this? I'm somebody that likes to plan way far ahead, sometimes a little farther ahead than I really need to. And I found VetSec as an organization to join. And please, by the way, while I talk, queue up any questions. If there's anything that you guys want to ask, please throw it in here and we'll get to it. I know my talk's going to be a little shorter now, but I still have time for questions. Okay, so I found VetSec, and I joined them in January of 2020. And then the pandemic hit, and board elections started in June of 2020. And I'll talk a little bit about Drive and how to own your transition, but I volunteered to help the organization. The previous board of the group started a little partnership with an organization called eLearn Security, and I was one of the recipients of the eLearn JPT certification, and was able to do that, and wouldn't have found that at all if it wasn't for VetSec and the community we have. So this talk will serve just as a little bit of how to get into VetSec and how to take advantage of what all we provide, and a little bit about what we do and how we do it. So it all starts with the website. It all starts with veteransec.org/join us. And as far as who's eligible, our eligibility requirements to join the organization are pretty broad. Any 14 Eyes Nation military veteran can join. Active duty, National Guard, reservist, or veteran of the military from any 14 Eyes country can join. When you fill out the application, we do some OSINT of our own. Use the SCRA to review your application and make sure that you are military, and then we'll give you an acceptance. You'll get an email to join the Slack, and your website account will be provisioned. Okay, so what do we provide? Well, I'm going to talk just a little bit about each of these, and then we'll talk kind of about the last year in review. So on the community side, and this, even though there's only a couple of bullets here, this is the most important piece. So the mentorship program that the community provides is outstanding, and we do it through some amazing volunteers. And I want to take the time to thank every single person that volunteers to be a mentor within VetSec Slack. So in the Slack, there's a workflow where you can apply for a mentor if you're looking for a longer term relationship with a single member of VetSec. So say you're looking for somebody who's working in ICSOT because that's where you want to go. You can specifically mention that in your mentorship application. And one of those volunteers, when they get free time, there's a lot of people asking for mentors, but one of them will reach out to you. We do have some applications in the queue, but they'll get to you. The Slack in general, like I said, over 5,000 members. One of the things that I love about the Slack is that almost any channel, right now I see channels lighting up. There's reverse engineering, resume help, LinkedIn profiles, general IT, cyber threat intelligence. There's all these channels, and I can post a question related to that subject in any one of those channels, and I guarantee that I will get a reply from somebody who knows about that, who's willing to help. And it's all about that community environment and people helping others. And I love it. Okay, on the employment resources side, we had an awesome masterclass on resumes on day one here. Evening workshop, resumes and refreshments from John Stoner and Warren Fish. That's happening every day inside the Slack. There's some great pinned posts. Make sure you read them and tailor your resume, and go ahead and throw your resume in the channel. And Jake hit the nail on the head. We can always use more volunteers for experienced members who like to become mentors as well. Absolutely. We have a jobs listing channel, and for any of our partners that are listening, we also have a jobs board on our website. It's not the greatest, but it is there, and anybody who wishes to partner with us and share their jobs, we can get them an account and let them post on our website. I do have some disclosure requirements, like salary ranges need to be in the job offer, but that's pretty much it. Workshops and conferences and capture the flag. So workshops and conferences, we had some of our members volunteer to go to B-Sides Nova this year. We do workshops here at VetSecCon, and we're trying to put together some capture the flags with some other organizations that I'll talk about in a little bit. And on the training side, thanks to our partner that helped us stand up the CTF for this, Immersive Labs. Immersive Labs is one of our long-term partners that helps year-round by giving every single one of our members access to the Veteran Digital Cyber Academy. CompTIA academic partner, any of our members can get all the academic discounts for CompTIA. Fortinet and the FortiVet program. So Fortinet and their technology, they have 7 or 8 certifications, I think NSE 1 through 7. All of those, including the exam vouchers and the lab environments to practice and the curriculum, are free to all of our members. So if you want to take advantage of those, I've got new contact info over at Fortinet, and we'll be making sure our website has those links this week. The Center for Cybersecurity Training is an advanced training provider out in Washington, D.C., and we've had a member go through some of their more advanced trainings out there on Corlin. Splunkwork Plus, that's free training on the popular enterprise SIM Splunk. And any of our members can go and sign up for that and get access to that training and some of those certifications. Another sponsor that I'll be talking with here on a panel in 7 minutes has a Level Effects Cyber Defense Analyst Bootcamp, and they provide a free seat for one of our members every single cohort, plus a discount from any other member that wants to go. Throwback to our original founder, Heath Adams, and the TCM Security Academy. They give us discounts for all of our members and gave us 4 vouchers for their practical network penetration tester certification this year. Evolve Security Academy put 2 of our members through their OSCP bootcamp. All of our members can have access to Coursera and the curated catalog of cybersecurity courses. We have a academy for Cisco Network Academy that gives access members who want to study for things like their CCNA, and lots of great courses there as well. The Cybury Impact Hub, our speaker 2 years ago now at VetSecCon, Chloe Mastagi, is the Chief Impact Officer over at Cybury and has set it up for 50 of our members to gain access to the Cybury library, and that is still being set up. SafeStack.io, that's Laura Bell-Main's company, SafeStack, over in New Zealand. She spoke to everyone yesterday afternoon, and they provide free training on secure software development to all of our members. SANS Work Study, so this was a partnership we stood up this year with the SANS Institute for one of our members every single month to go to the SANS course of their choosing. If they're all virtual, then they can attend virtually. If they're in person, then they moderate in person and help out. And finally, our own courses, I'll touch on very briefly. So the key thing here to knowing how to apply to any of our benefits is to take that 101 orientation course. That explains the website, that explains the Slack, and that explains, most importantly, how to take advantage of those benefits. Okay, we have other courses. Really, the key ones that I like to touch on are the 100 level stuff. So Networking with LinkedIn has a lot of those guidelines on how to build up your LinkedIn profile. 103 has how to build that resume with a lot of those tips from John Stoner and Warren Fish and others in there. And 105 is a course on preparing yourself. It talks about burnout in the community, talks about things that you're going to see in the cybersecurity industry. And then thanks to Dennis Devey over at Hoppers Roppers for donating the content for our 200 level computing, networking, and security fundamentals. Jake, you absolutely hit the nail on the head, and I will touch on that. Thank you. I do want to thank Mandiant as well, and they're right here. So I know I'm getting down on time, but over the last year, just the last year here at VetSec, all of these training providers have reached out to us or through us have partnered to help the veteran network. Mandiant Academy did an amazing donation when they stood up their academy of 25 seats for members to take cyber threat intelligence courses. The Veteran Global Tech Network. So if you are a veteran of the UK, Australia, or Canada, there are some amazing organizations over there. Tech Vets, Coding for Vets, and Vets in Cyber. Vets in Cyber in Australia, Coding for Vets in Canada, and Tech Vets in the UK. I reach quarterly to all of their CEOs, board chairs, and we talk about kind of the struggles in the industry and how we are each helping our own groups of veterans. Some of our offerings, like Level Effect, are open only to U.S. veterans, but like the UK, that organization, Tech Vets, is permanently funded through the UK and the Royal Forces Employment Charity, and so they have a ton of resources to help people living over in the UK. Thanks to James of VetSec and his group of students over at Rice University, Savannah, Lauren, and Margaret, for helping our organization complete a SWOT analysis and giving us recommendations on how we can grow moving forward. We had a graphics designer reach out to us to help us with the complete rebrand. That's where you're seeing the new color schemes and logos and website. Over the past year, VetSec became a registered trademark. And a huge thanks to Eden Law Firm there. We achieved a platinum transparency level for 2022 and raised over $264,000 in value of contributions to our members, over $18,000 raised. And Greg's got a little correction to me. They are open to Five Eyes countries. There are some of our benefits that are U.S. members only, but Level Effect in particular, Five Eyes. Thank you, Greg, very much. Okay, what's really important out of this whole thing, though? Tons of training benefits, right? And I want everyone to take advantage of those when they can. What's important is the community that can help you. We are all in this together, and people can't do it alone. So first, how to take advantage. Remember that orientation course, go take it and reach out to us in the Slack and take advantage of those benefits. But really own your destiny. Ask for help. Take charge of your transition. And don't be the member that takes and signs up for every single benefit we offer, because I promise I'm going to look 3 months later and you're not going to have finished any one of them. So talk to the members, figure out what area of cyber you want to go in, and then delve into that with passion. Go after it. We have resources for everything. I encourage everyone, especially over the past few years, burnout in this community is real. The transition out of the military is not easy. There's a lot going on in those last 6 months, including, we didn't even touch on signing up for your VA disability and getting that process going, figuring out your medical insurance, moving your family, moving your house, buying a new house maybe. There's a lot that goes on. So please come into the community and own it, and don't go it alone. We are all in this together. I wouldn't be doing this still if I didn't believe in the mission and didn't believe in the community. The roles that I have managed to work in since I've joined VetSec are because of VetSec and the people here. So please take advantage of it. Like I said, we're all in this together. How you can help our organization. Amazon Smile. That's the easiest way. It's not a lot of money, but it helps. And like I said, every little bit helps. All you have to do is go to smile.amazon.com, edit your profile, and make VetSec your charity of choice. Obviously, word of mouth. If you get more members to join, both that are out of the military or still in, rising tides float all ships. Tell your employers about us. If you volunteer with us, some employers will donate because of that, and they'll do matching donations. So please look that up and tell them about us. Sign up to provide mentorship and help us build the community. And like I said, we are always seeking help from within. All right. With that said, I know that I'm a minute over, and I hope my session speakers will understand, but I'm going to take just a couple minutes and answer any questions. So if you have anything you'd like to throw in, please toss them here in the chat. Mark says, on what I just said, I don't know what area will take me due to my limitations. So Mark, just, for more detailed information, please come into the Slack and ask questions. And if you're not a VetSec member, while we're still here, put it in the Discord, and we will reach out and see what we can do to help. All right. Does anybody have any questions they would like me to touch on? Because if not, I will go ahead and let this go over to our sessions. We do have some amazing sessions today. While we're getting those spun up and while I'm winding down here, I do want to thank all of our sponsors one last time. This year, over $12,000 raised for our sponsors, by our sponsors for VetSec. Amazon, Immersive Labs, Level Effect, Synac, Cloud Range, and Bank of America. Thank you again so much. David's asking, do I have any suggestions for trying to transition into cyber after landing a full-time job after I've transitioned out? Yeah, David. So Jake 1, hit us up in the Slack and we'll get you sorted for sure. And come over to mine and Greg's session, because we're going to talk about a lot of those things, and we're going to have another 45 minutes. But Slack's a great place. We do have suggestions. Yes. All right. With that said, thank you, everybody. Again, I apologize for running a little bit late this morning, but I'm glad that we can get this off. Dalton, volunteer opportunities are there for new members. It's not just the mentorship program that we look for volunteers with. There's coding opportunities. There's simple maintenance inside the Slack that can be helped with. I have people that are helping approve new member requests. There's all sorts of things. So hit us up in the Slack if you're interested. And thanks, Stephen. All right, everybody. I will catch you all in your sessions. Have a great day.